Hi, this is Christy with Paper Snippets and Handcrafts, and today we're going to finish this, I believe. We're going to put in, I already put in one side of the folio. I'll show you how to put the folio together and put it in the book. And I'm gonna go over the waterfall in the back. I already put pattern paper on everything, and I just use these little strips of paper at the top and bottom like this. So you can go through, and on the back where it was red, I just decided, now I ended up double matting this, and then you don't have to do that. I just decided to leave this part red, and when I picked out my cut apart, the other books that I've done, the cut apart was larger, so it held the pages down better. So I decided to put a magnet behind this after I had already laid this paper down. So I had to put a sticker here. So there's going to be a magnet holding it down, as well as this little strip of paper that's at the bottom. It's 1/2 inch by 5.5 inches. And we're just going to slightly put it above the little strip right here, because we want it to be, you want it to be easy to tuck in. So I'm just looking at it real quick, like seeing where I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this to this side. And you just want a really thin layer of glue on this piece when we glue it down. I'll show you. So let's do that measurement one more time. Okay, that looks good. So we are only going to put glue on each side, and then a thin little layer of glue down here. Careful not to get glue on my little cut apart. You don't have to keep your cut apart part here. I wanted to do it for reference, so when I glue it down, I can see it all put together like this. And I will probably move it once I get this where I want it. Okay, let's move that. Oh, it's not dry yet. Let's let it dry a bit. So that's what it looks like without the card in it. So it just kind of looks like this, this bottom part looks like it flips up, but it doesn't. It just is a little pocket to hold the card in. Okay, I'm not gonna do that because it's not dry. Okay. So the next thing we're going to move on to is I've already installed this in the book, but this is the page we're going to create. So this is the front side, and then it has a little gusset right here, and then here's the back side. We are going to put 2 magnets in here. You don't have to put the magnet here. This magnet will hold the other side of the book together, and then this magnet will hold a flap down that we're going to put in here. So that would be this side. So, and then this is the inside. So we're going to start with, I'm going to just scoot this out of the way. We're going to start with these 3 pieces. So we've got a 6 3/4 by 5 7/8 piece of paper. I need to write with a different pen. And you're going to score on this one. Let me get my measurements for the folio. You're going to score at 1/2 and 3/4 on the 6 side, on the 6-inch side, the 6 3/4 side. And then you're gonna have a piece that's 6 by 7 5/8. And then you're gonna have a piece that's 6 1/2 by 7 5/8. And on this one, you're gonna score a 1/2 inch on the 6-inch side. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue, let's see, this, you have to be careful. So this is gonna be the opposite on this side. So this page with the gusset in it will lay here. And then these 2 pages will be, I want it to go this way though. These 2 pages will glue together on this side. And we don't want to glue this bottom right yet because we're going to put glue in it the same time that we adhere it to the spine. And I'm leaving the top open. You don't have to, you can glue them shut. I'm leaving it open in case, you know, I want to use it for a pocket for something. So let me just check this out real quick, like, make sure that's where I want it. Okay, so we're gonna glue, put glue on this. Now this is the piece without the gusset. It's just a 1/2 inch score. Sorry, I'll put it right here. Just line that up. So we want to make sure they align on the top and bottom. I probably should have mitered my corners, and you can miter your corners if you want. You don't have to. I usually do, and I forgot to do this. Forgot to do it on this one. So there's a little piece hanging over there. So I'm just gonna cut that off. Okay, so that's good. So now that you have that adhered, this section is the section that's gonna get glued to the spine. And then once we get that glued, we're gonna glue this page right here. So, now I did apply some tape. I like to use tape and glue. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove my tape. Actually, I didn't want to do that. I only wanted to partially remove it. Actually, no, I'm going to do it that way. Sorry. Apply some glue. You don't want to get close to the score because you don't want to glue your book down. And then I'm going to, I should have removed this. I'm going to apply glue to both sides. And once again, you can do this whatever way you like to do this. I just like to have a little bit of extra glue. And then I'm going to apply glue down across the bottom of this. So just a bead across the bottom to glue it shut. Okay. Now we are going to install this. Now you don't want your, let me look up here. It's hard to do these with the camera. I'm getting glue all over the place, but I'll have to come back and use my glue eraser. Okay, so there's that page. I want to make sure the bottom is glued as well. So a lot of that's going to get covered up anyway. This will not. So let me get that off real quick light. Okay. And then this page will get glued to this side, and I am going to, I don't like those. Let's use these. I am going to miter the corners a little bit on this. I don't know where everyone lives, but where I live right now, it has been cloudy and gray and gloomy. And so I feel like everything's in the dark. Okay, and then we're gonna glue that to there, just like this side. So what I did is I just folded it over like this, and then we're just gonna meet up those edges like that when we glue it down. Open and brush it. Okay. Okay. All right, there is your second page. So that's what it's going to look like. And then what you're going to want to do, I'm just marking mine where my magnet goes on this side. I don't need one over here because on this side I have a pocket. So I'm putting a magnet over here. Okay. So let's go ahead and see if this is dry and get this little guy in here. I'm going to have to glue the corner of that little card so it doesn't keep coming up. But that is going to keep that down now. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and decorate some of these pages and go over the little flaps. So the flap in here, there's one, I put one right here, I put one right here, and this is just a basic waterfall. I'll probably do that, and then I'll go over this envelope, and this is another pocket. So let me get my first page with pattern paper. Now, originally I had designed this flap to be 4 3/8 by 4 1/2, and you're going to score on the 4 1/2 side at a 1/2 inch. For this one, I decided to use a 4 by 4 cut apart. So I altered the size of my paper to 4 1/4 by 4 3/4, and I scored at a 1/2 inch on the 4 3/4 side. And then this is going to be my paper that I'm going to glue down, and then I'll show you how I did the inside of that. But first, we want to glue down our flap. Just slightly miter the corners. I'm not getting any camera. Let me adjust this a little bit. So I'm just gonna quickly, where did my, there it is. Let's see. This is, so let's, okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some glue to this. And then we're going to, I just need to stand up. I can't sit to do this. So I'm going to apply it to the little edge right there. Okay. And then, oh shoot, I glued the wrong one. I'm glad I caught that. I glued the one that I glued the wrong one. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to stop that because I just realized that I grabbed my original one that I was showing you at 4 3/8 by 4 1/2 because I changed it because I wanted to put the 4 by 4 cut apart. So I went and corrected it. So anyway, let's move on. So what's going to happen is you're going to decorate this however you want, and you're going to put, on my other one, I just put a piece of white paper right here. And then in the inside, this is going to go in. And I am going to put this in so it will look, I'm not going to do it on camera, but this is kind of like what it's going to look like. So I will come back and show that later. We're going to install the flap over here. And I don't know why I didn't do it with this side, but it is easier to lay both of these flat to install these. So this one, I'm just going to glue right after that score line, like that. And it should line up with the other side. If it's not, you're going to want to trim it. And I'm sorry, excuse me for my voice. I feel like losing my voice. Okay, let me see if it's good enough. I'm just trimming it just a little bit. The reason why you trim it is you don't want it to hit on the binding in the inside. And just go a little bit more on that. Okay, that looks good. Okay, let's get some glue on that. I'm going to miter these just a little bit. And this piece was the 4 by 6.5, scored at a half on the 6 side. And I'm just eyeballing it and going off of this other piece of paper of the flap that I did on the other side. So I'm just kind of putting it in between it. I'm gonna do this. Okay. So this is page 1. Page 2, page 3, 4. Your waterfall is going to go in here, and you're going to put that in just like you did this one. So the waterfall will go here and here. These two have pockets, and I do have the pocket cut apart, so I will show you how I did that. I did have some, let's use this one. This is the one I want to use. So I was running short on paper, and I am double matting these. You can use the pockets that were in the cut instructions. It's cut 3 pieces of cardstock at 1 3/4 by 5 7/8. I cut mine in silver to match a matting that I did behind it. So you don't, once again, you don't have to mat this. It just depends on what look you're going for. But we are going to glue this paper to the cardstock, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put glue around these 3 sides, and then you'll glue the pocket right below it, so it lines up with your matting piece below it. So I'll go ahead and do that. It's, when you work with this shiny paper, it's very hard to see. Did I need to put a magnet down on here? The inside pocket. No, I always panic about that. I did not write that down. That's why I put M's on it. I was thinking I was on the outside. I'm in the inside. So that was funny. Okay, so we got that glued down. And now we're going to glue our pattern paper down. Then we're gonna glue, this is the pattern paper I'm putting down for the pocket. So we'll glue the paper down and then we'll glue the pocket down. This paper is slick. Okay, and we're just gonna put glue on 3 sides for the pocket. Hold on a second. To get a little bit more glue on there. Just line that up. And that's all you need to do for the pocket. Okay, and then on this side, we're gonna put in the waterfall. And so, let's see, I have my paper for that. I'll go ahead and do that real quick like. So once again, I'm gonna put down my foil paper and make sure it's cut right. And then we're gonna put down this. So on the waterfall, you're using the 4 1/4 by 4 3/4, and you're scoring at a 1/2 inch. On the 4 3/4 side. And this is gonna go in, I'm not gonna do this on camera, I'm just gonna show you. This is gonna go in just like the back one. You wanna measure where you want this. So what I typically do before I even put it in, let me score these. I lay my pieces together and decide where I want them to go on my paper. And you can use removable tape to do that, to, you know, just get a feel for how you want it. So I'm going to center mine. So we're going to center it just like that. And like I said, on these, you're going to want to just stack them like you did in the back. So you're going to glue that one down right here, and then you're going to come in and put glue right here, glue this one down, and just continue on until you get that finished. And like, you can change these up. You don't have to put a waterfall on this like I'm doing it. You can put whatever you want on the pages. On this page, I am putting a pocket. So I already got that cut out. So that's gonna go on this page. It's pretty simple, just glue it down. And the back side of this is gonna have a pocket just like this page. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and finish decorating all of this, and then I'll come back and show you everything I did. All the pages are done, and there was a couple things that I wanted to share with you on the magnets. In the tutorial below, I believe I told you to put magnets in a place where it probably wouldn't adhere very well to keep the 2 pages together in the folio. And you don't even need the magnets if you don't want, but I need to show you where that is. I first want to start out with the dangle and give credit to Chrissy from Blue Ridge Papery. I participated in a 4th of July swap last summer, and this was her dangle. So she created this, and it's so pretty. It's very cute. Tons of charms and hand wrapped wire beads. She created the USA, and it's on this cute little blue clip. And then there's a whole bunch of stars on it too. And then on the back, I did include this little sticker, America the Beautiful. Let me set that like that. I wish I would have picked a different ribbon because I feel like this ribbon isn't going to last. So I'm probably going to have to figure that out and see if I can replace it. So the beginning page, I believe in the instructions that I changed this as I went along in the tutorial. You can make this flap any size you want. So this particular one, I used a cut apart that was 4x4. So I created a flap that was just a little bit larger so I can mat it. I created this little bow with a paper clip on it, so you can move that. And then this star, I repeated it on the back side. I think I left it, so yeah, I left it so you can tuck something underneath it if you want to. So if you have a picture there, you can put that in. And then the pocket's big enough for all these tags, and if you want to give it as a gift, you can also slide in a gift card back here too. I used the Echo Park collection. It was Stars and Stripes Forever and Let Freedom Ring. I used a few pieces from it as well. And let me just pull out a couple of these tags. I backed that one. I like to back them, especially in here, because you're pulling them out at an angle and it just makes them a little bit sturdier. I just put red on the other side of that one. So there's that. And then I did put paper on the ends of the folio as well. So this is where I told you to put a magnet on this page. I said to put it right here and right here. And then you're going to put one right here for this one. But if you put one over here and you want your folio to stick, you need to put the magnet on the cut apart. So underneath this piece and not underneath here. So that is the correction that you need to make in your magnets. And here is the Let Freedom Ring. That's the other paper collection, and I just made this so you can slide a picture underneath it. And then on this side, this is a pocket. This one just has a cut apart, and if you want, you can journal on the other side. I used from the sticker collection the USA, and then I had this pocket is a die, and then this tab is a die. And I double matted all of those. And I just got, I think it was from Amazon, I just got these dies. I use this one right here to create these little tabs. So over on this side, here's my pocket with a stacked star. I popped it up just a little bit, not too much, because there wouldn't have been enough room. I put a Stars and Stripes Forever tag, and I backed that one. I did not back these. I just kept them like they are. And then the mat back here, it was just leftover scrap paper, so it was just a random size. I did leave that open so you can put a picture underneath it, and you can put one on the back. And then both of these are they're just the same. I duplicated them. I once again put the little stars right here. This is the branding strip from the paper collection. And then I just created the flag look with the strips up here. So there's enough to put 16 pictures in here, and then you could put some pictures back here if you wanted to. And then the other side is just mirroring what was on the other side. I did put a cut apart. I did not back this one. And then here's for my larger photo. I thought it would be cute to put maybe some fireworks like on this one for a photograph. And then there's a couple tags in there. And then the last page, we have the star again. I just repeated the stars again, and I did a cut apart, and I did back this one. So if you want to put a photo on the back of that one, you can. And I created this cute little pickup tag. And then I stuck a blue tag in there. And then here's the book. I put my red seam binding in here. And once again, you can take this book out to read it, or you can leave it in here. And this book is so cute. It's so vibrant and cute. I love it. This little boy with the star glasses. It's so much fun. I'll do a quick flip through it. Eating watermelon, or even doing s'mores or marshmallows, and then the back page. And then I think I've already shown the waterfall. I usually put a taller cut apart here, but I like this one, and so I decided that it needed a magnet because it wasn't holding it down like I wanted it to, just in this little tuck area. So I did put a magnet underneath here and right here, and I did stick a sticker over it to hide the magnet. And then I just matched the paper on the top and the bottom on this one. So there's all the pages for that. So here is the finished product. I hope you all followed along and enjoyed the tutorial. And if you make one, please send me a message. I'd love to see it on my Instagram. Thanks for watching and have a great day.